Alabama takes on Oklahoma for a second time. When's the last time Alabama lost to the same team in the same season? Were you alive for that? We're going to talk about all that right here on the Bama Tailgate Show, coming live from your favorite place, or at least Brett Elmore's favorite place. Big Sexy Elmo, spiritually in the house. We love you, brother. Let's go.
The original Bama Football Tailgate Show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we've got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad. With national championship winning quarterback Jake Coker and CoverCrimson.com host Mick Gillispie. The Bama Football Tailgate Show is presented by Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play! Featuring the Sportsbook at the Timeout Lounge, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. Also brought to you by Tuscaloosa Hyundai. New thinking, new possibilities. Genesis of Tuscaloosa. Luxury with a national championship service department. Yuengling Lager. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. The only beer you need at a Bama tailgate party. The Floribama world famous beach bar and lounge in Orange Beach. Sevierville, your Smokies start here. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of fine art editions by Daniel A. Moore. Use the code Bama Tailgate for amazing deals at NewLifeArt.com.
And also brought to you by Visit Tuscaloosa, where tradition meets adventure. Alabama personal injury lawyer Steve Mesrano. Mesrano wins, we got you.
Now the host of the original Bama Tailgate Show, here's Mick Gillispie.
All right, roll tide, and welcome to the show. Good to talk to you guys because Bama is in the postseason, and that is a great thing. Welcome to the Bama Football Tailgate Show, presented by Pearl River Resort. For the next 2 hours, we're going to talk about number 9 Alabama, number 8 Oklahoma, 7 o'clock at Memorial Stadium, Norman, Oklahoma. And on today's show, we've got a great lineup for you. We're in Jasper at the Pie Factory, and we have one of Jasper's all-time greatest football players, Griff Redmill. He's going to join us, played offensive line at Alabama, helped lead the Tide to an SEC championship back in 1999. We'll have Chris Low from On 3, Thom Abraham from 97.7 ESPN The Zone, and much more, including our friends from Gaten and Grillin', Carl the Cook Lewis, and Kevin Sport. And who knows who else? Oh, maybe we got another special guest for you, too. As we talk to you on WJLX, we'll have our guy Jonathan Timmons on as well. So Timons is actually in the house right now helping him, and we appreciate all you guys. I'm Mick Gillispie. That's Jake Coker. Bama's 10-3. Oklahoma's 8-2 with a win, or actually 9-2 after a win over Alabama. Maybe 10-2. This is wrong here. 10-2, Jake. We got to play them.
Hey, it's nice to be here at Pie Factory. I understand why Brett loved this place. Good to be here, and you know, kind of remember him being in his atmosphere, and you know, it's exciting for us to be in the playoff. You know, last year it was awful. You kind of realize what it's like to be bored during the playoff, not having Alabama in it. So really excited for this matchup, and you know, I'm not sure what to expect. You watch that SEC championship against Georgia. I don't know what we're playing with injury-wise. That's the only thing that makes me uneasy. Hopefully the 2 weeks off is going to help Alabama, and we'll have a healthy team out there.
Yeah, I hope so, too. We appreciate all of you guys again for being here. This is the Bama Tailgate Show. It's brought to you by Pearl River Resort, Philadelphia, Mississippi. Short drive from Tuscaloosa and Birmingham. Vegas-style sportsbook at the Golden Moon Casino. And then being at the Pie Factory. We talked about it before. And you know, last year, one of the worst things that happened was, you know, we lost Brett. And he actually, this was his hangout. So he spent all of his time, whether he was, I talked to him constantly. He loved the Pie Factory. So we're doing this as a tribute to him. But all of his friends and colleagues from WJLX have come to hang out with us. Everybody misses Brett, what he brought to the table. not just as an excellent broadcaster and having one of the best voices that I've ever heard, but he was also brilliant. I mean, I learned so much about the business that I'm in every day from Brett, whether it be him calling me, getting up and talking to me at 4 a.m. What he did for us on the show as our co-host, how hilarious he was, but intelligent at the same time. So we're here for him. We tried to do this last year. It's just great to be able to kind of come back here and remember our friend.
The ultimate hype man voice.
Yeah.
There's no better intro than a Brett Elmore intro.
he would call and be like, hey, I just did this. What do you think? And you're listening, you're like, yeah. he wanted me to buy. There's a very famous strip club here in Jasper. You guys know about this? Yeah, it's called the Booby Trap. He wanted me to buy the Booby Trap with him. And I thought, well, I don't know if I want to buy the Booby Trap, but if I did, his voice could be awesome when I come out on the stage, right? Ladies and gentlemen, with the microphone, there's me. All right. We'll talk about Brett throughout the show on here. Bama gets beat by Georgia 28-7. Any final thoughts on that? It was a shellacking. I don't remember the last time we were injured. I know we weren't near 100%, but man, I don't remember the last time we physically just got.
Yeah, I don't remember well.
With effort, I mean, with that, not the Florida. It was different than the
I mean, that's the first one I've just wanted to turn off. A long time. It brings you back to the Utah Sugar Bowl, the Oklahoma Sugar Bowl a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But the hard time that I'm having with it, and really. Right now, why we go into this weekend, and I'm completely baffled by what's going to happen during this game.
Yeah,
because I just don't know who's healthy, who's not. That Georgia game, it was pretty obvious, by the guys that were out and the guys that were playing. I mean, even the backups were hurt. The first stringer go down. The second, the backup was out too. So, you're just throwing guys out there hoping for the best. And we needed a bye week. We needed time to get healthy. Hopefully these injuries are some of those nagging injuries that, that week off is going to allow for us to come back healthy against Oklahoma.
Were you shocked when Bama came in at number 9? I mean, I know this is a little bit old, but I mean, I thought for sure it was going to be Texas A&M and us being there instead of us playing Oklahoma.
No, I'm not too shocked. I mean, look, you can't penalize a team going to the SEC championship. The number 1 seed in the SEC can't be taken out of the playoff because they lost a game. And to me, Georgia, they beat us in 2022 in the national championship. Basically all of our starting receivers go down. I know they had their injuries last week, 2 weeks ago, but obviously we follow Alabama far more closely, and the injuries that we had for us, to me, just completely changed the entire scenario. So while I hated to see it, at the same time, I understand it. And to be honest with you, I don't understand. I hear all this hype about, Kalen DeBoer having to win this game for his job. I think Kalen DeBoer has done a great job. I think this entire coaching staff has found a way to keep us in it and battle these injuries. So, I think they've done a great job. I think this team's been resilient. And you can see we've come a long way since that Florida State game.
Yeah, I thought so too. I mean, I thought the Oklahoma game last time around, Bama played well enough to win. They outplayed them, they didn't win. I thought the effort was good against Georgia. I don't have a problem with that. The team wasn't healthy, and Georgia took advantage of some mistakes. Putting that block punt.
The most glaring characteristic or statistic to me, which I don't know if I've ever seen it before, is -3 rushing yards. You've got to be able to run the ball. You have to find a way to do it. Ty Simpson, to me, is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. I don't care who you got, Cam Newton. I don't care. I don't care if Jesus is swinging the ball back there. If you can't run the ball, it's tough.
You have to walk on water. Look, guys, we're proudly presented by newlifeart.com. Use the promo code BAMA Tailgate to get a discount right now. We're at the holiday season. You're looking for the perfect gift for that Bama fan in your life. That's the Bama Tailgate promo code at newlifeart.com. And our guest that's about to come on next segment and you both part of teams that threw out some great annual mark. I'm just going to leave it at that. The other thing I want to say is that we're presented by Pearl River Resort and Casino in Choctaw, and now's a great time to make your picks count at the Timeout Sports Lounge. And we also, guys, I'm going to tell you this too, have the debut of Jake's latest commercial. So for those of you that are watching on the YouTube channel, the second commercial break, radio's going to go away, but YouTube's going to stay here, and I'm going to play it for him so he can see it for the first time.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, so I'll be pretty embarrassed.
I'm pretty embarrassed. But you're good. There's some cameos in there, too. All right, we'll be right back with Griff Redmill. He's going to join us on the Bama Tailgate Show right after this.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll!
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
Let's roll!
Why walk when you can fly? Tap into your inner eagle. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world.
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.
Touchdown flavor, Gulf Coast style. Whether you're here for the big game or just hungry for a win, Bama-Oklahoma River Grill has you covered. Catch every pass, every play, and every moment on our wall of big screens while you enjoy fresh Gulf seafood, legendary burgers, and ice-cold drinks. With waterfront views and game day energy like no other, this is where football meets paradise. Grab your crew, bring your team spirit, and make Bama-Oklahoma River Grill your home field advantage this season, where the food, drinks, and football are always a win. Located across from the world-famous Bama or online at Bama-Rivergrill.com.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back, and I don't mean maybe when you know you got to have a friend. You call 900-9000, 'cause Liz wins. Get your life back, baby. Get your life back, baby. Call 900-9000. Stephen Mesrano.
Don't want to miss. Lita Ford. And joining Lita for a very special encore set, the legendary Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. With special guests, Firehouse. Saturday, December 27th, Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. When Hyundai introduced America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, it was one of a kind. But you know us, how can we improve on that? Tuscaloosa Hyundai was first in the nation with a 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new Hyundai. When we told customers no charge, they smiled, and you will too. At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, home of the 1,000,000-mile smile.
All right, back on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show, and great to see all of you guys as we talk Alabama football. I'm Mick Gillispie with Jake Coker, and good to see Griff Redmill joining us as we hang from his home here in Walker County in Jasper. Griff, good to see you. Played football at Alabama when I was a student, so I guess that makes us OGs at this point. But
good to be here, guys.
Yeah, great to see you.
Appreciate the invite.
So first off, thanks for coming. And secondly, what was it like growing up in Jasper? What's it like playing football here and doing your thing?
Oh, it was a great experience. You know, we've got a great town here, great place to grow up. A lot of support for the local athletics, and you know, it was just a small hometown America right here in Jasper, Alabama. So it was a wonderful experience. I love getting back anytime I get an opportunity.
Well, it's good to see you today. Hey, guys, we're presented by Black Belt Outdoor. Our friend Bradley Price takes great care of us. You probably saw the billboards around the 13 counties in central Alabama with Jay Coker's face on it. Well, telling you to come to the Pie Factory here in Jasper today. You can do the same thing. They do static and digital billboards to meet the needs of their advisors. So check that out. All right. Bama limped into the SEC championship game, guys. There's no other way to say it, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm still not going to jump on the train of let's opt out of the SEC championship game. I just can't get there. The tradition, I think, means too much to me. If you've earned your way there, you got to go play in it. But after watching that game again, you see it, and your argument's pretty valid. I mean, everybody's beat up, and yeah, it's kind of tough to do that and make a playoff run. But yeah, like I said, that was one of those games where I pretty much had to turn it off in the fourth quarter.
I felt like this, Griff. I mean, it was a disadvantage for us. If we would have sat out, we'd have the home field. We'd be in Tuscaloosa for the game.
Yeah, and you know, I understand everybody's argument with that, but yeah, I'm kind of like Jake on this. I mean, the players want to play. You know, the coaches want to coach, and you want every opportunity you can get to get out there and do your thing.
Yeah,
and, I think that, and there's so much tradition behind that game, and I mean, it's the, you know, it's national championship, and then it's that, and so did they limp in? Yeah, they limped in, but they made it. They got there. It was definitely an ugly one, but I'd rather be there than not be there. But I certainly understand the argument from all the folks about the value of that downtime. You know, if you're going to make the playoff,
right?
This, that, and the other, and then of course the scenario of what happens if they get beat. Well, you know, they won't be penalized. Well, then you don't know.
Yeah,
when it actually happens, the way it happened. But,
well, you guys won in '99, and that was an amazing season. It was amazing for you, and that's probably, you know, got to be one of the highlights of your life. It was one of the great games in Bama football history. If you don't play in that SEC championship game, you know, how would your football career at Alabama have been?
Oh, it would look much different if you because if you think about those times, you know, it was very tumultuous. You know, we went through a coaching change, probation. We were hammered by probation, and just didn't have very good numbers at all. And a lot of mixing around trying to get guys. That's how I ended up playing offensive line. I've signed as a defensive lineman. They moved me to O-line just from numbers perspective. And I think what made that game so special is nobody expected us to ever get there during that time period. Just because of everything that was stacked up against us. So, you know, you take that away from the whole equation, and it would have been pretty grim 4 or 5 years there in terms of wins and losses and what we accomplished. But that was a pleasant surprise, that '99 season.
Yeah, it was awesome. And then, you know, you won one too. I mean, at an ACC one, but at Alabama, you won going into that national championship.
Yeah, I imagine that locker room was pretty tight back in '99 to accomplish that against all odds.
Oh, heck yeah, man. We had a tight group, and I think that was the key to all of it right there. Was that core group of guys that it might have been a surprise for a lot of folks, but it wasn't a surprise for the guys that were in that locker room.
Mm-hmm. You know, I always say, you know, talent takes you, you know, it'll take you far, and we'll see in this NIL stuff some teams that surprise some people, you know, based on how much they can pay guys and get them in. But I mean, the key factor to me is you can pretty much tell if a team's championship worthy by the way they act during bowl week, where their focus is. You know, are they there for one common goal, or what is your goal at the end of the day? You know, to win a national championship for the institution you represent, or are you just there for yourself? And those teams, those championship teams, are just hard to beat.
I don't want to do away with it, but it just from the standpoint of adding a 19 to the side of the football helmet, it might have been easier to be in Tuscaloosa for the game. It might have been easier to have the extra time off to get healthy. And when you look at the NFL, the team that's the number 1 seed takes that time off. They get that. Now you don't get to win a football championship on the field like Georgia did and like Alabama's done more than any other team in the SEC. But things have changed so much with this college football playoff. It really is a debate, right? Because people might not believe it in the national media, but Alabama was punished for going to that game because they should be hosting instead of being on the road.
Yeah, but it changes throughout the season. Injuries, you got to take them into account. I mean, look, if it's close, I don't see us shifting around too much. But, again, what makes me nervous about this game is that our injuries have added up, and maybe we aren't that seed that deserves a home field advantage. I mean, with the injuries that we have. I hate to say it, but, we were exposed a little bit, and we may be where we need to be.
What about Ty Simpson? How do you guys feel, Griff, about Ty Simpson? Looks like health-wise he's struggling right now.
Yeah, I don't quite have a bead on his health situation, but clearly something's going on. But health aside, I think our biggest deficiency right now is the elephant in the room, the lack of a running game.
Yeah,
we can't run the ball, or we haven't been able to do it consistently. And then
have you ever seen a negative 3-yard rush deficit before?
Can't say I've ever seen that.
Not at Alabama.
Negative 3. I was shocked by that one. But, from the other side of the coin, you're looking at it and, okay, this team can't run the ball. And, we don't pick up the blitz very well at all. So what is Georgia going to do? Well, let's just send them every time. And I think the teams have started to figure that out. And until we can come up with a way that we can, get some value out of the running game and effectively pick up a blitz, we're going to get more of the same until we show that we can beat it.
Right. Well, you were on the offensive line. You played quarterback. How do you do that?
Yeah, and you talk about the worst possible defense to play when you struggle with pressure. I mean, you got Brent Venables over there dialing it up like a mad scientist. He's different. He's different. And it's, I watching that SEC championship, I saw Ty out there, and he, never really got his feet set. He was always nervous about getting the ball out, and you could tell. I mean, he was not able to really go through his reads and look down the field very often at all. It was, kind of boom, boom. All right, where's my safety net? Throw the ball away.
Right.
And I think getting hit a lot will do that to you. I don't care who you are. It happened to Peyton Manning. It's happened to Tom Brady. It's happened to all of them. Ty, while I think he, again, is one of the best quarterbacks in the country, you can't carry a team that way. I feel like I've seen one guy in my lifetime in college football who absolutely carried a team. That was Cam Newton.
Yeah.
And physically, I mean, I've seen Cam Newton in person one time, and he's probably the most physically gifted person I've ever seen. But outside of that, I've never seen it before. So, you're asking a lot of them, and I think we all know he's injured. There's something going on there. Been a long season, and he's toughed it out, but we'll see what happens. We'll just have to see what happens. I think a healthy Alabama, you look at the last matchup we had, we outgained them by 200 yards, double their offensive yards. Oklahoma has struggled this entire year offensively, being consistent. What they've done well is consistently turn other offenses over and get themselves in a good field position. We don't shoot ourselves in the foot, and we can run the ball just a little bit. I think we can pull it out, but again, after watching the SEC championship, it all depends on where we are.
Yeah, Oklahoma reminds me of that 05 Bama team that went to the Cotton Bowl and won against Mike Leach. Like, they're going to be field position. They don't have much offense, but they're going to kind of wait for you to make a mistake. Can Bama win a field position game against this team?
Win the field position battle?
A game where it's like, look, we're going 3 yards and we might punt 10 times in a row, but we're going to make you go down the field and beat our defense instead of being the team that tries to be aggressive and makes mistakes.
I don't know, because when we've been put in those situations, it's been pretty ugly. You watch the Georgia game. It's 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. I don't think you can really ever beat anyone consistently or say you're going to win a game when you can't stay on offense or manage possession of the ball for a little bit of time at least. That the defense I thought played a hell of a game in the SEC championship. You give them the ball. They scored 4 touchdowns, and all 4 touchdowns were within the 50-yard line or closer.
Right.
So, I mean, what else can you do as a defense? No, I don't think you win. I don't think Alabama wins if we lose a field position battle, because I don't know if we can sustain drives.
Right.
Yeah, the bottom line is you got to put some points on the board in this day and age, and we haven't been able to do that. And I fully expect we'll probably double up Oklahoma's offensive statistics again this go around. But it comes down to putting the ball on the ground or turnovers to the air. If we can't protect that, then we're going to be kind of in a similar situation. And I think Oklahoma is probably going to take they're probably taking a long, hard look at that Georgia tape and seeing what worked, and probably going to get a lot more of the same.
This is the Bama Tailgate Show. It's brought to you by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling is a 6th-generation company, and our friend Cheryl Yuengling, who's part of the company's ownership, is a proud Alabama grad. There's a little bit of crimson love in each one of those green bottles. Also, try Yuengling Flight. We've got the Yuengling Flight swag that we're giving away here at the Pie Factory, and it's kind of like their answer to Mick Ultra. It's a great beer, and you should check it out. Okay, for those of you on YouTube, stick around. We're going to debut our commercial with Jake. And for those of you on radio, we'll be right back. All right, this is informal, but this is what we're doing. Jake is in a new commercial, and I'm going to play it for him for the first time. This is Pearl River Resort. I want to get his reaction. Griff, you give me yours
We're
too.
doing this live.
So
we're on YouTube. Nobody on radio knows.
You hadn't seen this either?
No.
Oh,
Griff, put your microphone a little closer to your. Yeah. All right, you ready, Griff? I want your opinion and Jake's opinion. Here we go. Yeah, it's that headset. All right, you guys ready? Here's the debut of the new commercial.
So, Jake, let's break down some game tape.
Hold on, fellas. Steve.
Hey, Jake, you ready to rock?
Let's roll, brother.
Guess we're calling plays at Pearl River Resort. Wow, Jake's first throw scores. And Steve's got the crowd pumped. Man, they're absolutely rolling.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I ain't gonna face reality.
I tell you, Jake's still got game. While Steve keeps rocking aces. Boom, Jake seals it with a pick.
Come call your own plays
at Pearl River Resort. Let's roll.
I don't have to be me till Monday.
All right, Rich, you got to keep track of the time because remember we got 4 minutes here.
Hey, Griff, I'm not moving to Hollywood anytime soon.
Hey, listen, every now and then in this life, you come across somebody that's just a natural. This is a prime example. What a natural.
Need to go back to Mobile right about now.
I'll tell you the funny thing about the commercial is like I've never really been on the backside of a production before, but we went there and basically I spent a whole week doing this commercial. And when I see it for the first time, I'm like, I'm terrible on here. Like, get the hell off of this thing. I think you were fantastic again.
Oh, man. Yeah.
I thought you were good. You and Steve.
Sure.
Everybody watching is going to want to go to Pearl. Have you been to Pearl River yet?
I have. Yeah, I've been there. Did they give you like a bag full of house chips to play with? Did you get this scenario going on here? Or how does that work? 3 rooms and
yeah, we get it. Yeah, we get it. They hook us up in that the clubhouse. The clubhouse is pretty awesome.
Yeah, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the clubhouse there. Yeah, it was great though. Shout out to
Steve. Those got it down. I mean, he's got the movie star.
Yeah,
look
where's your
and
sunglasses
and the aura? Yeah.
But shout out to Walter. His production company put that commercial together, and then our guy Matt, who's kind of the guy that oversees everything. Bow Bounds, Mississippi. We spent a lot of time together. And it was pretty cool to see that thing kind of come out. All right, let's get back to radio mode here. And the show. Never done that before. It was live on WJLA. All right. Welcome back to the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. Hanging out with you guys from right here in Jasper in honor of Brett Elmore. You guys on WJLX know all about Brett, and we'll talk more about him as the show progresses. But we're here just for him this was his favorite place, his hangout, and we love the fact that that we get a chance to be here right now. I want to tell you guys that we're brought to you by Tuscaloosa Hyundai. We just started the year-end winter sales event. That is 0% for 60 months with also no down payment for 90 days, which is after the Super Bowl on brand new Santa Fe's and Tucsons. So we have a great selection of those vehicles. We also have brand new Hyundais starting at $21,989. So our friend Brooke always hangs out with us on the show in Tuscaloosa. Brooke Meissner, and then obviously her dad, who is Barry Buckner, is our buddy. We love them so much and appreciate them for being here. Talking about being here, let me bring this guy on. You guys know this legend from up in North Alabama and into Tennessee. He's known as the Big Dog from 97.7 ESPN The Zone, our affiliate up north. Here is Mr. Thom Abraham. What's up, Tom?
Well, clearly Jake has an Emmy coming. I mean, for that, his performance in the Pearl River commercial, I would think that he has an Emmy coming. For those of you that saw that there, and Mick, I would say that your assessment of your performance was spot on.
Hey, Tom, I didn't know Tom could see that. Appreciate that.
Hey, Tom, say hi to Griff Redmill.
You notice he says Jake seals it with a pick there at the end. I'm like,
yeah.
We're talking about the Ole Miss game. I just threw an interception to lose.
No,
Seal the deal.
I didn't have anything to do with that. They gave me the script, okay? You don't improv on these things.
I thought you were talking about a guitar pick, because you had Steven. I figured it was a guitar pick that you were talking about. And, hey, Griff Redmill, how you doing, my friend? I know Griff from North Alabama, of course. Hey, Griff, how you doing?
I'm good, doing good, Tom. How are you doing?
I am fantastic.
Hey, listen, obviously I know your skill set in this business and you know mine. Do you think we can get together and collaborate and get some kind of deal like this Pearl River thing going out of North Alabama? I think
yeah, I'd like to put our acting chops up against that. I think I'll take a shot at that one.
Pretty good first shot out of the cannon for Jake there.
Yeah, I look like a guy they just found on the street and gave a sports coat to. Said, "Hey,
now, see,
doing this
Jake,
commercial for us."
I got to Jake, you're smooth, man. I mean, you got the voice, you got the pipe. I mean, you could go a long way. You got the look and everything. I'll be honest with you. I think this dude, wait a minute, where is he? Over here. This dude over here, could have a career doing that stuff.
And remember, I'm an extra in this. Like, I'm not supposed to outshine the star. So they did a good job of helping me do that.
All right, let me ask to make it look really good.
He had to have 2 makeup specialists.
Still didn't help. Tom, let me ask you this question. Is Bama trending in the wrong direction?
No, I think everything. Look, remember, I'm the one that gave you guys Georgia 2 weeks ago, and everybody I was the villain. I was the bad guy because I picked Georgia. I said Georgia would win that game. But I think 2 weeks removed and everybody getting healthy, getting his tight end back, and Josh Cuevas, so on. I don't think there is any trending. I don't think you can take anything from Atlanta and import it to Norman. I think this is a whole new deal now. Scratch everything, start over. Can they get back to where they were when they dominated Oklahoma, a few weeks ago? That's going to be the big deal. They don't turn a ball over. They blow Oklahoma out of that game. And honestly, I don't see Ty Simpson throwing an 85-yard pick six, in the first quarter of the game again. I don't see that type of stuff happening. The beginning of that game will be very, very important because of the crowd and because being on the road and everything else. But no, I don't buy trending. Did they look like garbage the last couple of weeks? Probably. One of those is a big rivalry game. The other, you're trying to beat a team twice. But I'm not buying trending. I think Alabama can still be Alabama when they get to Norman.
You guys agree, Griff? Jake?
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's a totally new ball game, and it's going to come down to the guys that are healthy. And, that's been a bit of a moving target the last part of the season, and I think you saw how it really the guys that are the number ones, they're the number ones for a reason. And then you get down to your 2A, 2B guys or whatever. And, and they were dropping like flies before that Georgia game. So, you read this scouting report or the injury report, and, they don't recognize this guy. Well, you were going to recognize him this weekend, that weekend, because he was going to be on the field playing, making a contribution, filling in for the guy in front of him. And then those guys were hurt in some instances. So, it's a totally different game. And, it'll depend a lot on what guys we have healthy and available.
And it feels like Bama probably had to play these guys against Auburn to rest them for.
Well, to me, again, I don't want to harp on it again too much, but the SEC championship to me was somewhat of a throwaway game. I mean, especially when Georgia is just throwing everything at you, pressuring all the time. You're missing Cuevas, you're missing Jam Miller.
Yeah.
You start talking about those 6- and 7-man protections. You've got, I mean, outside of your offensive line, you're missing your 2 best pass blockers in alternate positions, guys that have a better understanding of the offense, understand their roles when pressures do come and who they're blocking. And also Cuevas, you know, I mean, a guy who's pretty heavily involved in the screen game. I think he really understands what Ty wants to do with the ball. I think they're on the same page. And for him to be out has been really debilitating for Alabama's offense.
Yeah, I think he was probably one of the biggest missing pieces these last few weeks because he has been one of my favorite players, and he has been so clutch in critical situations, making a big play, getting the first down when you got to have it, and you take that away, and it's a big piece of your game that's missing.
He's one of the biggest glue guys we got. Yep. You know, just having a real understanding of where to be and how to play and understanding leverage, and he's one of those guys who he may not light up the stat sheet or you know, run a 4.3 and have all the measurables, but he's one of those guys that keeps that team where they need to be by making those big plays in key moments.
Right. What about LT Overton, Tom?
Yeah, well, I just wanted to go back to you know, one of the things we talked about before the SEC championship game was how difficult it is to beat the same team twice in the same season. And I emphasize season, Michigan fan out there. You know, I know what you did in your little bowl game thing. Season, all right? It's very, very difficult. I think that's in play again here. I mean, I think for Oklahoma, you know, they got every break and everything went perfectly for them to have 211 yards or whatever it was and beat Alabama. You know, let's, you know, go ahead, try and do that again and see how that works out. So I think the same thing is in play, and Alabama could actually be as dominant as Georgia was against the Tide. That's how Alabama could look against Oklahoma. I really believe that could be the case.
Tom, is there any concern that, talking about Michigan, that they could swoop in and take Kalen DeBoer? I know he said he wasn't going, but coaches have said stuff like that before.
I don't know what else he can possibly say. I mean, he gets up there, he says it over and over again, and everybody's like, well, just read into it. I think he means, look, that place is a dumpster fire right now. Yeah, I mean, I know it's Michigan, and I know it's a top 5 job maybe in college football. I do believe that things will heat up a little bit for Kalen DeBoer with a loss, but I think he's done everything he can possibly do to make it known that he loves Tuscaloosa. And when you go to the "my wife loves it here" line, I mean, that's an important thing, you know, and folks will tell you on the inside that part of the reason Nick Saban left Miami was his wife and his kids hated it in Miami. They didn't want to be there anymore. That was part of the decision-making process when he went to Tuscaloosa in the first place. But Kalen DeBoer, I think he's done everything he could possibly say. I don't know what else that they could do. Honestly, I almost thought by now we'd see an extension. He wins this football game. I think between the win and the Rose Bowl, you'll see an extension and we can move on. I would be flabbergasted. I just don't see any scenario by which he's going to go take the Michigan job.
Is Jimmy Sexton his agent?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Well, he's stirring the pot.
Yeah,
good for him.
Yeah.
Good for him. That 15% is going to get a little bit bigger.
He hasn't signed anything yet, though.
No.
Well, he hasn't been offered anything yet. There's no extension on the table, as far as I know, unless you know something I don't know. I don't know that there's a contract extension on the table right now, but I mean, he has a huge contract as it is.
Right.
And, I thought he went a long way this week to endearing himself to a lot of Alabama fans because he sounded like a guy that genuinely loved where he is at. And, remember, we used to worry about Nick Saban for 4 years. And we always worried about Nick Saban because he was a short timer. He hops around. He's going someplace else. Any job that opens up, he's going to be gone. And, I think it was 10 or 12 years in before people said, you know what, I think he's staying.
Yeah, no doubt. Well, Tom, tell everybody where they can find you at on the radio stations that you are on each and every day.
97.7 ESPN, The Zone out of North Alabama, WNSR in Nashville. Also, of course, on WCDT out of Winchester, Tennessee there. And you can always, You can watch online, X, YouTube, WZZN TV. The shows are all, it's online every day as well, noon to 2 Central Time. And, we're just hanging and banging and having a great time doing it.
Awesome. Always great to talk to you. Have a great Christmas and roll tide, my friend.
More
of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show coming to you from the Pie Factory in Jasper, Alabama, right after this.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll.
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. When Hyundai introduced America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, it was one of a kind. But you know us, how can we improve on that? Tuscaloosa Hyundai was first in the nation with a 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new Hyundai. When we told customers no charge, they smiled, and you will too. At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, home of the 1,000,000-mile smile.
This isn't just a place, it's a pulse and a rhythm, where game day is more than a tradition. Heart-pounding yet? It's where the flavors are bold and the portions are generous. Mouth-watering yet? Art, music, and culture paint the city's soul. Creativity flowing yet? So whether you come for the thrill, the taste, the beauty, or the tradition, you'll stay for the Tusca life. Ready to feel it? This is Tuscaloosa. Live the Tusca life.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back, and I don't mean maybe when you know you got to have a friend. You call 900-9000, 'cause Wiz wins and get your life back, baby. Get your life back, baby. Call 900-9000. Stephen Mesrano.
When you're ready to double down, dive in, drive for a show, and not look back. Roll into Pearl River Resort. From tee times to table games, water slides by day, slots by night. Savor the flavors, feel the fun, win big. Let's roll into Pearl River Resort. Must be 21 or older to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
A night of rock you don't want to miss. Lita Ford. And joining Lita for a very special encore set, the legendary Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. With special guests, Firehouse. Saturday, December 27th, Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world.
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.
Alabama gets set to take on Oklahoma in the college football playoff. First time that Bama has been in the 12-team playoff, and I think eventually it's going to be 16, probably one day 64, who knows. What I want to tell you guys is that we're proudly presented by Mesrano Law Firm. Mez wins for you. He's a guy that jumps on our show a lot. He's coaching his son's basketball team tonight. That's why he's not here with us at the Pie Factory in Jasper. But he's known as top 10 best lawyer of the best attorneys 2024, the national top 100 trial lawyers, top 25 motor vehicle trial lawyers, top 10 trucking trial lawyers, and America's best advocates, top 10 personal injury attorneys. And he's a guy that gets on the show and cuts it up with us each week as well. I'm Mick Gillispie with Jake Coker. Griff Redmill here, and now, for the first time ever, you've been at our show before, Jonathan, but actually coming on the air with us, and he's the guy that owns WJLX in Jasper, best friend of Brett Elmore for pretty much all of his life. Great to be on here with us, buddy.
Man, thank you for having me again, Mick. Appreciate you and everything you've done to help me out along the way since we've lost our friend. Jake, thanks again for making time to come up here to Jasper and do it. Griff, nice to meet you finally, and yeah, I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and it's just happy to be a part of it, man.
No, it's awesome to have both of you guys here. Let me ask Jake a question. Have you ever been to Jasper before?
I may have passed through.
Maybe on your way to Memphis.
Or the interstate.
Yeah. Man, I got to know this place because of Bull Corey. He had Oakman, really. I've always called Oakman my adopted hometown. So I guess that makes Walker County my adopted, county in Alabama. And what's cool about it is it's a coal county, as you guys know. So me being from Maryland and going to Alabama, I was accepted here before I was even at the University of Alabama. It took the K's a little while to get used to me on campus. It didn't integrate too fast, but down here, it's always felt like home to me.
How do y'all know each other?
We were just friends with a lot of the same people.
Y'all got to know each other in college?
I mean, it was the first time I've ever seen him in person, but
so Heath Haley is a mutual friend of ours.
We call him Meathead.
Yeah, Meathead. And, he actually made the connection, I guess, when you guys got the show going, and we've been trying to put this together for a couple of years. So it's the first time we've met.
Yeah, and it's great to have you here, Griff, too. And you were from this area, Jonathan. You're from Jasper too. And just talking to Brett all the time, Brett talked about you a lot. So I thought it would be cool to kind of bring you guys in here and be a part of bringing this show here to the place that he loved the most.
And a place that he helped, I'll put it out there. Like he helped establish. Pie Factory was pretty new. Maybe 3 years here in Jasper. But Brett jumped in real quick and was a part of it. He brought the radio station in and did bingo nights and all kinds of events for the Pie Factory, and I'm happy that they're still part of local radio and sponsoring local athletics, which is what WJLX is all about here in Walker County.
Well, let me ask you guys from Jasper about some of your most famous citizens that have come from your town.
Brett Elmore.
Yeah, well, Brett Elmore right there at the top of the list. How about the guy George Lindsay? Have you guys heard about George Lindsay before? Goober Pyle.
Yeah, you can't live in Jasper and not know about Goober Lindsay. It's one of the biggest stars, it's come out of here. So yeah, you got Goober Lindsay.
Were you a fan of Andy
Goober
Griffith?
Pyle or Gomer Pyle?
No,
Yeah,
Goober and Gomer were both from the state. Gomer was from maybe Sylacauga.
Okay, you're right.
Right, and then Goober was here. And Brett Brett worked really hard to rename that stretch of highway here the Goober Express.
Should have been.
That sounds like a Brett priority right there.
Now when I talk about Jasper, most people are going, okay, Polly Holiday, right? Polly Holiday. You know Polly Holiday.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Flo,
who that is
Flo.
Oh, Flo from Mel's Diner.
Yes, Flo from Mel's Diner.
She's one I forgot about, but yep, she was a big one. Kiss my grits.
Yeah, kiss my grits. Now the other guy from here, and we better be careful not to make a joke too funny about him, but he's a guy that I absolutely love. Just to put that out there, he makes a mean steak, and he knocked a lot of people out. Do you guys remember Butterbean?
Oh yeah. Butterbean's an icon around here. I can tell
Butterbean's from here?
Yeah,
absolutely.
I've never met him, but I went to school with the son at Curry, like in middle school. So
yeah, Butterbean. When I was, when I was growing up, like high school age, middle school age, that was the heyday of Butterbean. And there was a Gold's gym here, and I worked out there. And I would go to the gym every afternoon. And Butterbean, he's probably 5'9", 350. In the height of his training competition. And I never saw him lift weight. Never saw him do anything but ride that Stairmaster for like 2.5 hours, and he could give it heck, man. I tell you,
Right.
It's impressive to see for a guy that size. But yeah, he was something to reckon with back in his heyday.
I saw him on Diamond Dallas Page's yoga thing, like get back in shape again. And it was like very emotional. I was like, man, this guy, loved watching him box, kind of like that every man that would just knock you out. Do you remember his
Getting
fight?
back in shape?
Yeah, he had gotten, he couldn't walk hardly. And then he did the yoga and came back, and hopefully he's still doing well.
How old is he now? What do you think?
That's a show that would sell, Butterbean doing yoga.
Yeah.
This guy's
DDP yoga.
Do you know how old he is?
Let me Google that.
But if let's see.
You think
Probably,
AI knows the answer to this?
Gotta be.
How old
62? Is that what somebody said out there? It'd
Well-
probably be about. Yeah. Okay.
He's 59. Okay, and he looks great on here.
Hey, you know what?
Where's he living now? Is he not
Here.
back
Still,
here?
Yeah, still here.
He's got
He's
a
got a restaurant here because the night after we reestablished the WJLX AM connection, rebuilt the tower, went with the broadcast engineer out there to Butterbeans.
Went and got something to eat.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing that happened here in Walker County in this area is Matthew McConaughey was spotted here recently. I know he's a famous Texas fan, but he was filming a movie for Amazon, I guess, or Netflix or something. Rivals of something, I don't know.
I think we said the rivals of the Amazon King.
Amazon King, yep.
Yeah, they filmed that down
The Frosty Mug.
down by the river.
He was at the Frosty Mug.
There's multiple sightings of the Frosty Mug. I was following it on Facebook.
Were you?
I don't know how much of it was real or fiction. But
Our very own
Frosty Mug.
James Phillips from WJLX went down there to snap some pictures, I believe, that day. So I don't think he got to meet him, but he was taking some shots for the local newspaper at that time, I believe.
It's like trying to spot Bigfoot. Well, you were telling me before, Timmons, that
That's what you got to call me, man.
yeah,
Nobody knows me as
well,
Frosty.
everybody
Only-
knows him
only
as
my mother,
Timmons.
I think.
That he said that Smokey and the Bandit, part of that was filmed here.
Yeah, they did one of the big jumps from the very first movie. Oh, that's not true. Okay, we're being fact checked live. There you go. Okay.
Oh,
okay.
well,
What makes them?
it
pick
was
a spot
Hooper,
like-
not Smokey and the Bandit.
What makes
just
them
for-
pick a spot like Jasper to film a movie outside of tax purposes? Like you're ramping a car off a cliff, and
There's a lot of
the local
navigable
authorities
water
here
going
just
on
like,
a creek.
yeah, we'll let that slide.
We got a lot of dirt ramps around.
Yeah, we'll clean that up.
one of the really fun things that Bull Corey used to take me to do when I would come visit him over in Oakman was ride around on the dirt roads in the strip pit.
Oh yeah. There's
You
a
know
lot of-
about this?
Oh man, I grew up around coal mine. My dad worked for Drummond Company for 40 years, retired there. So I've seen all these strip pits, and there's no limit to the things that can be done out there.
No, and one of them's drink beer.
Yeah, drank my
Yeah,
first
a
beer.
lot-
At that pit,
A lot of back
78,
roads.
Yep. Behind the bread factory, kind of where the new church is.
But a lot of things conducive to, I don't know, jumping a car or an SUV.
Yeah, right.
Don't they?
That's why. So you guys being from here, what are you most proud of being in somebody that grew up in Walker County, played football here, and that is on the radio here every day?
Man, I think it's the people. I think it's the family, the friends that are here that make up Walker County. I left Walker County right out of high school, joined the Marine Corps, came back, and it's just always been home. It's we're 45 minutes from Tuscaloosa, where the greatest university, a football team to ever play the game is located. So it's always been home. Like I say, I traveled a lot after, but still always came back home because it's about family, it's about friends, it's about good people that make up a community that you want to be a part of.
Right. Plus, it's Bama country, Griff.
That's right. It's Bama country, but I would echo what Timon said. It is a great place to grow up, and the people here are fantastic and second to none. And the best friends I have on planet Earth, I made in my 18 years living here.
Wow.
And they still are my best friends, and their families, and it's just a very tight knit community and atmosphere. And they're committed to the youth and the athletics in the community. And it was just a really great experience to witness and be a part of growing up. And it just hasn't changed. It's the same.
What other football players came from here besides you?
Well, Adam Cox was probably the number one running back in the country the year after I graduated.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that the only reason that I got a scholarship offer to Alabama was they were hoping that I could drag Adam Cox with me the next year. I don't know that to be true, but the pieces kind of line up. But Adam Cox was a fantastic running back at high school. Tommy Cole played defensive line for the Tide in the late 80s, early 90s. And then, of course, everybody, Lenny Patrick, who he sadly passed away a few years ago. But I don't come through Jasper, Alabama at any given time when somebody doesn't bring up Lenny Patrick's name at some point in time. I mean, he's just a local legend here. He was a fantastic, phenomenal athlete.
That's awesome.
Brian Deal, punter for the 1992 national championship team.
Brian Deal, we're talking about Oakman, Alabama, and we don't have Brian Deal on the show. I mean, that would have been a great.
He was talking about
it was a great situation where we were going to reach out, but it was just kind of like too late in the production part of it. Tyrone Prothro is here now on the staff at the Jasper High School for Jasper High School football, and he's been a part of that program for several years now.
Good. Love Tyrone Prothro. I mean, and you guys know this. I've said this many times. That's why I feel like they should have had NIL back then for people like him. He deserved it. He was as good as any wide receiver that we've had at Alabama, in my opinion. Just throwing it out there.
He certainly was, and he made the huge, gigantic plays. That
all of them.
These guys are getting paid a mint for now, and it was all for the love of it back then.
Yeah,
and it was unfortunate the way his career ended, but fantastic player, and we're extremely lucky to have him at Jasper. He's been a great addition to that coaching staff.
Guys, we're going to wrap up the first hour. Chris Low is going to be on with us in the second hour of the show. We're going to pick some of the other college football playoff games going on, and then we're going to break down Alabama and Oklahoma, doing that from the Pie Factory in Jasper, thinking about our friend, the late, great Brett Elmore, Big Sexy Elmo from the show. And I know a ton of you guys are like, Mick, we miss Brett Elmore's song. I had one family come to me and say, we listened to this going to school every day.
Mick, before you send it away, can you hold up that shirt right there?
The Big Sexy shirt?
Yeah.
This is how the first hour is going to end. For those of you guys on YouTube, there's the Big Sexy shirt right there.
And I've got something for you guys brought along with me. Some hoodies.
Oh, sweet.
So that's for just pass one
there
down.
We go.
Take one, pass. Would anybody like the yellow one or the black one? Any preference?
I don't care.
I have no preference.
All right.
Give me that yellow
Doesn't
one.
matter,
There you go,
I'll
Jake.
do yellow. That's sweet. All right. Well, look, Brett's going to take us to
man.
break. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
They call him Big Sexy. Coming at you from the Walker County. Jasper is his hometown. He's known for giving free rundowns. Oh, Big Sexy. Throwing out those Alabama thoughts. Sneaking out your mom's window without getting caught. Nick gives you the XPs, but Big Elmo is here to please. Big Sexy Elmo on the Bama Tailgate Show.
Well, howdy, fans, and welcome to Leonard's prognostications for bowl games and playoffs. Going into the playoff in Indiana is the lone undefeated D1 team. Then we have all the coaches who were fired, some in midseason. The 2025 has been like no other in recent history. This makes for a lot of fun and enjoyment for Percy and Leonard. Let's take a look at our bowl playoff losers. Alabama versus Oklahoma. This first-round CFP duel features number 9 Alabama storming to Norman to battle the Sooner Schooner Friday on the 19th at 7 on ESPN and ABC. These two met on November 15th in Tuscaloosa, with the visitors handing the Tide a 23-21 loss, their first SEC loss at home since 2019. The Sooners have won 5 of the last 6. The Tide will be high, but the Conestoga canvas is waterproof. Make that 6 of 7. Leonard's loser, Alabama. The Gasparilla Bowl on Friday the 19th from Tampa. North Carolina State versus Memphis. The Wolfpack at 7-5 heads to Tampa to do battle with the boys from Graceland at 8-4. The West Tennessee Tigers opened the season at 6-0 before their first loss in mid-October to UAB, while the Pack posted a signature win over the Ramblin' Wreck in November. The Wolves will come away from this one with a severe claw mark on their head and body. Leonard's loser, North Carolina State. Fans, that wraps up this week's bowl games and a playoff game. We'll take a look at the survivors and have next week's prognostication for you. In the meantime, if you can't wear a smile, wear a white hat so we can tell you from the bad guys. Get me out of here, Percy. It's Miami versus Texas A&M. The Hurricanes blow into College Station in round 1 of the CFP on Saturday. This nooner in the Lone Star State pits the 10-2 Canes against the homestanding 11-1 Aggies. These two have a total of 10 games between them, ringing up 40 points or more during the regular season. The visitor could generate Cat 4 wins, but the Aggies have a strong storm cellar with the 12th man guarding the door. Leonard's loser, Miami. Tulane versus Ole Miss. This is a rerun of a September clash, which was dominated by the boys from Oxford 45-10. The Green Wave and James Madison are controversial playoff teams, with critics arguing these two spots would be better served by other high-profile teams. But Leonard digresses. Tulane, 11-2, suffered losses to the Rebs and University of Texas at San Antonio Roadrunners. Meep, meep. The Lane train has left Johnny Reb standing at the station, but it won't matter. Leonard's loser, Tulane. James Madison versus Oregon. The Dukes have won 11 straight since losing to Louisville in Week 2, but also its only game against a Power 4 opponent. The visitors arrived winning the Sun Belt Championship. The Whack Ducks come in at 11-1, their only loss coming at the hands of a Hoosier. Ain't sure what a Duke is, but it will be a long day in Eugene. Compliments of Donald. Leonard's loser, James Madison.
The original Bama Football Tailgate Show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we've got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad. With national championship winning quarterback Jake Coker and CoverCrimson.com host Mick Gillispie. The Bama Football Tailgate Show is presented by Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play! Featuring the Sportsbook at the Timeout Lounge, Dancing Rabbit Golf Course. Also brought to you by Tuscaloosa Hyundai. New thinking, new possibilities. Genesis of Tuscaloosa. Luxury with a national championship service department. Yingling Lager. Yingling, America's oldest brewery. The only beer you need at a Bama tailgate party. The Floribama world famous beach bar and lounge in Orange Beach. Sevierville, your Smokies start here. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of fine art editions by Daniel A. Moore. Use the code BAMATAILGATE for amazing deals at NewLifeArt.com.
And also brought to you by Visit Tuscaloosa, where tradition meets adventure. Alabama personal injury lawyer Steve Mesrano. Mesrano wins, we got you.
Now the host of the original Bama Tailgate Show, here's Mick Gillispie.
Bama in the college football playoff against Oklahoma. And we're going to talk to our friend Chris Low from On 3. Brought to you by Visit Sevierville. And I can tell you that the Smoky Mountains are beautiful this time of year. You're talking about Smoky Sevierville Winterfest, which is in the Smoky Mountains, right? And it started on November 7th, and it rolls through February 16th. So even if you miss the Christmas time, you still have it extended all the way until February 16th. Dollywood, fantastic, all decorated like Christmas, everything going on in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg. And you go through the Parkway in Sevierville to get to all of it. There's a lot of great things going on in Sevierville. including Shadrack's Christmas Wonderland, which is an LED drive-through light show, and more. It's beautiful out there, and we appreciate those guys for being a part of the show every week. And I'll tell you this, it's that time of year where you're thinking about your next vacation. Think about the Smokies and visit Sevierville.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville. Say it with me now. It ain't that hard. Sevierville. Give me some fit. Your Smokies start here.
All right, there he is, Chris Low, Mick Gillispie. Great to have you guys with us. Chris, let me just start it off with this. Michigan's situation at head coach. Alabama's Kalen DeBoer says he's not going anywhere. But there's still some people that feel like there's a possibility that he could potentially take another coaching job. You're always in the middle of these things. You know what's going on. Your ears to the ground. What do you think about this?
Well, Kalen was pushed pretty hard at Monday, Mick, in his press conference. And a couple of the reporters asked him point blank, will you be the coach at Alabama next year? Now, the first time he was asked that, he sort of referred to his statement from Sunday night that he was not talking to anybody else, had no interest in talking to anybody else. I look forward to leading the Crimson Tide going forward, and praised his kids on the team, for weathering through some of the distractions. Well, the third question in the press conference, someone asked him again very directly, will you be the head football coach at Alabama next year? And he smiled and said, hey, sort of repeated what he said the first time, and then he said yes to the first questioner and yes to the second questioner. So pretty direct, and it would be hard to walk that back. But I think here's the caveat: is Alabama and Kalen's representation continue to negotiate to try to work out an agreement. Nothing's been agreed upon, nothing's been signed. So I've done this long enough, and I think you have too. Until something's signed, until there's some type of agreement or a new extension that's signed, you never say never in college football. I do believe at this point, though, barring some change, that he will be back next year's head football coach. And here's the other thing. If Bama wins on Saturday over Oklahoma, even if he wanted to go, and I'm not saying he does, I think it's going to be hard for Michigan to wait that long on up into January. So, to me, all signs point to Kalen being back as head football coach at Oklahoma. And I think the most pressing thing right now is that Bama play well on Saturday against an Oklahoma team that's gotten a little bit healthier since they played the last time, particularly on defense.
You earn extensions because either you're running on the field or other teams want you, and his name popped up with Penn State, and it popped up with Michigan. It popped up with Michigan the first time. But hopefully for Alabama, he sticks around because it's hard to find these head football coaches. They don't just grow on trees. Now let's talk about the game, Bama against Oklahoma. Here we are with the showdown. Oklahoma's beaten Alabama the last two seasons, and Alabama looked really banged up against Georgia. Oklahoma had some time off to prepare again, so they had another 2 weeks to get ready for Alabama. But the Crimson Tide, I don't know that you'd call it a bye week, but they just because the game wasn't on Saturday, but they've had time to get better as well.
I don't think time off's going to be the difference in this football game. Bama without LT Overton, that's a big loss right there along their defensive line. He is a good football player, disruptive. So you take one difference maker away on that defensive line, that's never good in a game like this. Jam Miller looks like he's going to be able to play. Ty Simpson was asked point blank about how healthy he was early this week. He dodged the question, says he feels great. I don't think Ty's 100%. Now, I say that a lot of players, certainly at the quarterback position, are 100%, but I do think he's played through a lot of pain. Mick continues to play through some pain, some back issues. So that's something to watch in this football game. How well they protect him. Does it impact his ability to throw the football down the field? And, he's made a lot of off-script plays this year. Does that prevent him from, being able to get out on the move, on the run, and make some plays? We're going to find out. But I think, again, it's two other things stick out. Number one, it's hard to beat a team. I know this is a cliche. It's hard to beat a team twice in one season. We've already seen that with Bama and Georgia. Georgia, lost the first time there in Athens and came back and spanked Bama pretty good in the SEC championship game. As you point out, Oklahoma's won the last 2 times against Alabama, one of them earlier this year in Tuscaloosa. So here's Bama's chance to get them back in Norman. It's just, especially in the SEC. You go back to all these games over the years. I always go back to LSU and Bama in 11 when they played twice, Georgia and Auburn when they played twice in 2017. It just doesn't, out in Georgia and Alabama in 21 when Alabama beat Georgia in the SEC championship game, but Georgia came back and beat Bama in the national title game. The odds are that you're not going to beat a good football team twice in the same season.
That's what Bama fans are hoping anyway, right? Like you'd love the idea of being able to take these guys and beat them. John Mateer is a good quarterback. He hasn't been as good since his hand injury, but the Oklahoma team is a team that figures out a way to win. Plus, their defensive schemes have baffled Alabama. Tide moved the ball, turned it over. The time before that, the last time Bama was in Norman, they scored 3 points.
Well, and again, turn the football over. Listen, offensive coaches will tell you that going up against Brent Venables and his defense is going all the way back to when he was at Clemson. He's always going to have, I won't say tricks, but he's always going to have some different looks. He's going to come at you from different angles. They're going to do some things. They're going to get away from their tendencies. He's a hard defensive coordinator. He's a hard guy as he gets his defenses ready to play each week to go against. And that coming from a lot of people on the offensive side of the football that I know, this is a tough matchup. Anytime you go up against him, even when you go back to last year, Mick, they weren't very good at all on offense, but they stayed in games because of their defense. And they've been able to add a little bit more firepower. I agree, Mateer has not been as effective since he hurt his wrist and had the surgery. But defensively, they create a lot of havoc and force turnovers and we're able to sort of get turnovers and negative plays, not even turnovers, but sacks and tackles for loss that kill drives, or in some cases changes the complexion of the game. So that's what Bama's going to have to stay out of those type of situations and not let Oklahoma dictate this game defensively and put Alabama in bad situations, or even give the Oklahoma offense short fields to work with. Certainly Bama wants to be aggressive. They want to do what they do, but you do not want to put yourself in bad situations, especially on the road.
What a marquee matchup, too. I mean, both enormous brands and fan bases, pretty cool uniforms. They look a lot alike. This, to me, was a matchup when the SEC expanded with Texas and Oklahoma that you wanted to see Alabama play either one of those teams. And this is one of the biggest times that they've played. Now, they've played in the playoffs before postseason. And, Bama actually has a winning record in those games. But this one's going to be in Norman. It's loud there. I just think for Alabama to win this game, Ty Simpson is going to have to create some plays with his feet. That's what I saw when Ole Miss beat those guys down there. That you got everybody covered, and then all of a sudden here comes the quarterback, and I wonder if he'll be able to do that.
Well, yeah, I mean, absolutely. I don't think you can win a game like this if you stay in the pocket for 35, 40 times and throw the football. I think that I agree with you, Mick. I think his receivers, and even if they throw to people out of the backfield, they got to make some plays and some yards after the catch. You got to make some things happen. And we talk a lot of times about playmakers, guys that are game changers in the open field, defensively and offensively. That's where you got, Bernard and Ryan Williams. They got to have those guys make catches and make some yards and make some things happen after the catch. I mean, we haven't seen as much of that from Bama. We've seen it in stretches, but against this kind of defense that makes you earn everything. And I can't emphasize enough that the thing that Venables defenses have done the best over the years is they put you in tough situations. They put you in 2nd and 16, 3rd and 12, because they make all these negative plays and throwing it quick, getting rid of the football quick, using the short pass game to sort of supplement what you do in the run game and letting your guys that are athletes, that are playmakers, make things happen after the catch. So, yeah, I think Ty, to slow that rush down and to keep them honest, has to make some plays with his feet, but I also think they got to get rid of the football fast and let their receiving core make some things happen after the catch.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll.
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
Why walk when you can fly? Tap into your inner eagle. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world!
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.
Touchdown flavor, Gulf Coast style. Whether you're here for the big game or just hungry for a win, Bama-Oklahoma River Grill has you covered. Catch every pass, every play, and every moment on our wall of big screens while you enjoy fresh Gulf seafood, legendary burgers, and ice-cold drinks. With waterfront views and game day energy like no other, this is where football meets paradise. Grab your crew, bring your team spirit, and make Bama-Oklahoma River Grill your home field advantage this season, where the food, drinks, and football are always a win. Located across from the world-famous Bama or online at Bama-Rivergrill.com.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back, and I don't mean maybe when you know you got to have a friend. You call 900-9000, 'cause Liz wins. And get your life back, baby. Get your life back, baby. Call 900-9000. Stephen Mesrano.
Don't want to miss. Lita Ford. And joining Lita for a very special encore set, the legendary Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. With special guests, Firehouse. Saturday, December 27th, Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. When Hyundai introduced America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, it was one of a kind. But you know us, how can we improve on that? Tuscaloosa Hyundai was first in the nation with a 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new Hyundai. When we told customers no charge, they smiled, and you will too. At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, home of the 1,000,000-mile smile.
Alabama and Oklahoma, and you got a big matchup in the college football playoff. It's in Norman, Oklahoma. Bama just played the Sooners not too long ago. We're previewing that right here on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show, number one across the state. And we appreciate you guys so much on our flagship station, 106.9 in Birmingham and Tuscaloosa. And it is great to be on WJLX here in Jasper, Alabama, hanging out at the Pie Factory and being part of a place that I've heard so much about. I've been here a few times myself, but great to have Griff Redmill and Jay Coker, and obviously just a lot of fun to remember our friend Brett Elmore. Everybody wants the Brett Elmore T-shirt. I don't know if I can give it away.
It's a hot commodity around here.
It is. Everybody wants one.
Is that the only one in existence?
It's one of one right now.
Well,
the big sexy shirt. I'll put it up here again. All right, look, we're going to pick games right now. Maybe I should do this as a prize for whoever wins the Pick'em contest. It's brought to you by Pearl River Resort and the Golden Moon Casino. That's where the Timeout Sports Lounge is, and it's a sports lounge that offers traditional sports betting in which guests can bet on all professional and major collegiate sporting events. Put money down on Bama if that's your favorite team. But they got 20 big screen TVs with all the major networks, 12 state-of-the-art wager boards, 3 wager stations, a full bar. It's a really fabulous place to go hang out, and it's an hour and a half from Tuscaloosa, 2 and change from Birmingham, so it's in your neighborhood. All right, I'm going to start with you, Griff. Number 10, Miami, is at number 7, Texas A&M. It is a 4-point spread on here. That's where I got it at. Texas A&M is the favorite. I know some books have it at 4.5. Pearl River right now, the Timeout Sports Lounge is 4. 51.5 is the over-under. Who you got in this one and why?
Well, I think Texas A&M probably walks away with this one. You know, I've watched them a lot this year, and I thought for a large portion of the season they looked like probably the most unbeatable team in college football. And then, you know, things kind of change towards the end of the season, and people start showing chinks in their armor. But I like Texas A&M in this one.
I'm on the fence on A&M. I think Miami's got as much talent as anybody in the country. I think they could beat Ohio State one week, and I think they could lose to Old Dominion the next. It just all depends on which Miami team shows up. A&M, I'm with Griff. I mean, they're right there talent-wise, but I don't think they're highly tested this year. When you go back and look at their schedule, there's not a whole lot of teams they've played that are in that, you know, top elite echelon of teams. They got a pretty easy draw this year within the SEC. And I think they were, you know, kind of exposed against Texas. I think Miami's better than Texas. If A&M plays a solid game and Miami doesn't quite show up, I think A&M covers. I'm going with A&M because I think I don't think it's at night, but at Kyle Field, that's a tough environment to play in. It'll be the craziest environment Miami's played in probably decades. So I'm going Texas A&M. And
all the Notre Dame fans, they think that they should be in this game, even though they lost to both of these teams.
Yeah, it's like not making the NCAA tournament. You can catch me later with that stuff. And Notre Dame, you know, don't get me started on Notre Dame. I can't stand them. Can't stand them. I mean, they think they should be involved in everything. They've bullied everybody for years. You're independent. I don't want to hear your complaints when you get left out. You deserve it.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
and to take your ball and go home.
Yeah, right. They didn't want to play to do the playoff.
Who do you think you are?
Yeah.
They think a lot more highly of themselves than anybody else does.
No doubt. All right, number 11, Tulane, is at number 6, Ole Miss. This is a 17.5-point spread. Tulane already lost to Ole Miss. Their coach, John Summerall, is actually going to be the Florida Gators coach. Then Ole Miss had a coach named Lane Kiffin. You ever met him before? He's going to LSU. So now we got Pete Golding. So it's a lot different. Although John Summerall and his guys are sticking around, and it's been kind of a weird situation at
similar situations in both places, just played out a little bit differently.
Yeah. So what do you think? You got Tulane? You gonna ride on Tulane?
So is Summerall's coaching the game?
Mm-hmm.
You know, that could be the difference maker for them. You know, take all that away, and I'll hear 17.5 points, and I think that may not be enough.
Right.
I think you know, with the Lane train, when he gets ready to dial something up, and he can really do some special things with the team on a like a one game off basis, and it's gonna be one of those. And then I think maybe Tulane might be overmatched in this situation. But you know, when you got the situation with the coaching changes, and Ole Miss doesn't have their guy, Tulane's got their guy. Is that a differentiator? I'm still going to pick Ole Miss. I think they probably cover.
Yeah, I think. I mean, both teams going through similar situations. I think Ole Miss comes out with their hair on fire. I think. I mean, Charlie Weiss Jr. is coming back to call the plays. Charlie was also at Alabama when I was there. I'm a huge Charlie Weiss Jr. fan.
Okay.
I think he's got a really bright future ahead of him, and I mean, I think calling a game for him is going to be just another day in the week for Charlie Weiss Jr., one of the smartest coaches I've ever been around. And I think Charlie Weiss, after his experience in the college football playoff, is really he's already got a name for himself just through family lineage, but I think he's really going to make a name for himself in this playoff run.
Okay. I think
so. Yeah, I think Ole Miss covers.
Yeah, see, I think Tulane could be like Washington State when they flew out there and played. Like, I think they could hang into this game. And, I mean, when your entire offensive coaching staff leaves and then comes back, but they really work for LSU and they don't work for you, I don't know that Tulane has enough to win, but I don't know that they don't have enough to win, right? I think it could go either way. So 17.5 is a lot. That's a big number. But I just feel like Tulane's going to be – they've already been there. They've already done this once. I think they're going to cover this one.
Wait, they've done what once?
They already played Ole Miss once.
Lose by 35 once?
Yeah, but that was with Lane Kiffin.
Okay. No, you said they've done it. They've been there, done that. Like
but
they've
you know
done
what?
Something.
They played 2 years ago, and it was a really good game.
Yeah.
And it was kind of back and forth, and I don't know. I just got a feeling Tulane's going to show up. Now, the other game is James Madison. And some of you guys are going, I didn't know James Madison was a football team. You might think it was a president or somebody that might sign the Constitution or something. It's actually a football program. And they're playing at Oregon, right? And it's a 21.5 spread right here. James Madison in Virginia, 50.5 is the over-under. What do you think, Griff?
Well, hey, kudos to James Madison, because I was one of those folks that didn't know they had a football team, and I've watched exactly 0 games. And hey, great job by them to taking advantage of their situation and their opportunity and finding a way to get in the college football playoff. But, I could see this one being one of those matchups in the playoff system that, they just get boat raced because it's just such a different level of competition. I hope it's not the case, because everybody loves a Cinderella story.
Yeah.
And they would certainly fit that bill. But yeah, most likely they're going to be out talent wise, just vastly overmatched, I think. And but kudos to them for getting there.
Jake, when I look at you, I think Diego Pavia. That would you have been kind of, you got
this
to the
will be my last show. This will be my last show.
Just kidding. But I think Vanderbilt would have been a much better opponent for these guys. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, without a doubt. The way this whole the way they pick teams is, I mean, look, it's in shambles. It's in shambles. It is what it is, though, and this is one of those games where you see the 21.5 point spread. Man, I'm with Griff. I see. First off, I haven't watched James Madison one time this year. But I see that spread. It's a playoff game. Everybody's. I would imagine the public's on James Madison. You see 21.5, and you think, man, that's a lot of points. It's a trap. You take James Madison, you're on the sucker side. I'm going Oregon.
Yeah, and look, I mean, let's be honest. Notre Dame or Vandy would have been a much better matchup in this game. This doesn't feel right to me.
Tulane too. I mean, it should have been Vandy and Notre Dame, but. Again, when look, you get what you earn at the end of the year. You got to win the arguments, and you got to make those arguments strong. And look, you get left on the bubble. It is what it is at this point. I don't agree with the rules, but those are the rules. And really, and honestly, we've talked about this before. There's three teams that have a chance of winning the national championship this year. The rest are just, vying for that option, and they might get lucky. But when you look at it talent-wise, I think there's, probably 3 teams that really have a chance to win, maybe 4.
Yeah.
And I think that's probably true for the most part every year.
Yeah.
We keep expanding this field, wider and wider, but really there's about 2, 3, 4 teams that are really a contender every year.
Yeah, they're gonna make their money in the playoff, and that's great. But the top teams that are really gonna have a chance to win this thing.
Can you guys imagine, as guys who played at Alabama, alumni, being in all these football games? I mean, it's crazy how it's just like one game after another, after another, after another. I mean, like, it doesn't end.
It's a lot of football they're having to play, and but I think back, I mentioned this earlier in the show, the players want to play. I mean, football is an interesting sport because, it is year round. It is a year round, more than full-time job, and you only get 12 or 13 opportunities to get out there and play. So I think the kids, the players, they want to play. The coaches want to coach. But there is that dividing line of, I mean, they're not in the NFL. This is not their full-time job. It's probably more so like that now than it was 5-6 years ago. But you saw the results of a long season as far as the way it affected Alabama this year. You come down and you're so depleted. It's definitely got an impact on
and that SEC schedule too. I mean,
right.
I remember, 10 years ago when I was playing, the training room on Sundays got a lot more crowded as the season went on. I mean, you had those, Sunday was always a day for injured guys to come in and get extra treatment. And, the first couple weeks it was pretty thin. And then by the time Auburn or Iron Bowl week rolls around, it's there's not an empty bed in that room.
Yeah, and I mean, it looked like that when Bama played against Georgia in the SEC championship game. And for Alabama to win this one, guys are going to have to be healthy and ready to go. And we're going to talk about that game when we come back. I want to thank, again, everyone at the Pie Factory in Jasper for hanging out with us and being a part of our show. And when we come back, we're going to talk Bama and Oklahoma. More of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show coming up.
Oregon versus Iowa. The Ducks waddled east to Iowa City for this Big Ten showdown. Both are 4-1 in conference play, and the winner still has a playoff shot. The Hawkeyes have a solid ground game, but are last in the conference in passing. If the visitors can force the home team into passing situations, their chances of posting a W will increase. If it walks like a duck, looks like a duck, it's probably a duck. Leonard's loser, Iowa. Auburn versus Vanderbilt. The War Eagles fly to Music City to face the Cinderella of the SEC. The Tigers have 4 conference losses by 7 points or less. The boys from the Plains are operating under interim coach DJ Durkin and catching 6.5 points. The Nashville Yacht Club staged a 21-point fourth-quarter rally last week in Austin, but came up short. The Sailors have to run the table to have a shot in the playoffs. The Doors are averaging 37 points per game under the signal calling of Diego Pavia, and the Doors dinghy should still be afloat when the final gun sounds. Leonard's loser, Auburn. Georgia versus Mississippi State. It's Bulldogs versus Bulldogs in this nooner in Starkville on ESPN. And both Bully, State's mascot, and Uga are English Bulldogs. The Red Clay Hounds from Athens are coming off a win over the Gators in the world's largest outdoor cocktail party in Jacksonville, moving them to 7-1, while State squeezed by Arkansas by 3 to go to 5-4. Georgia will be looking to keep its hopes of an SEC title and playoff spot on the table, while the home Bulldog looks to become bowl eligible with a big upset. It will depend on who has the meanest Bulldog. Leonard's loser, Mississippi State. Navy versus Notre Dame. The midshipmen set sail to South Bend for this Saturday night clash with the Pope's pupils. The Irish lost tight games early to Miami and Texas A&M, but are riding a 6-game winning streak, adjusting to a balanced offense and a turnover-happy defense that leads the nation with 16 INTs. The home team is a 26.5 favorite, considering the Sailors lost their first game to North Texas last week and coming in at 7-1. This looks a tad excessive. Leonard's loser in a close one, Navy. Texas Tech versus BYU. The city of Lubbock is the center of the football universe this Saturday when it hosts ESPN College Game Day, and the number 8 Cougars try to maul the number 9 Red Raider in front of 60,000 fans. The cheapest ticket for this contest is over $400, too expensive for Percy's pocketbook. Texas Tech is favored by over 10 points for good reason. Their offense and defense attack both are ranked top 10, while BYU ranks way back in the 30s on both sides of the ball. This will be a battle between the talented Cougar quarterback Bear Bachmeier and stud muffin linebackers Bailey and Rodriguez of the Tech defense. My heart says BYU, but my head says Tech. This ain't a Valentine's Day date. It's top 10 football. Leonard's loser, BYU. And remember, if you can't wear a smile, wear a white hat so we can tell you from the bad guys. Get me out of here, Percy.
Thanks for hanging out with us on the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. Having a blast. This place is really picking up here in Jasper. We're at the Pie Factory in honor of our man, Brett Elmore. Big Sexy. You guys know him from the show. This is where this was the place he loved to be at the most. So in his honor, we're here today. And we appreciate everyone at the Pie Factory for making this happen. Alabama taking on Oklahoma, 7 o'clock kickoff, Norman, Oklahoma. Second time that Bama's played Oklahoma this year. And Bama has not played well against Oklahoma. So they got to do it again. And Jonathan Timmons back up here, Jake Coker, Griff Redmill. Griff, this is a rematch. You did that when you were in college at Alabama. Didn't go well for Florida both times.
Nope. You know, that old saying, everybody says you can't beat the same team twice, and we were able to do it in 99. It was a fantastic run. But I think it holds true. You know, it's tough to beat the same group of guys 2 different times. And a lot of this Alabama season this year, I kind of feel myself not clinging to facts, but clinging to hope,
right?
The expectation that there's going to be a change here, a change there. You're going to see an answer, and I'm hoping that we've learned from kind of our bumps along the road here at the last part of the season and show up ready to play.
Well, I just about guarantee you that the last team Oklahoma wanted to see them match up with was Alabama, because again, when you go back and you watch that first matchup, I mean, it reminds you of so many games that Alabama's lost in the last 15 years where you're like, I mean, it could only happen this way.
Right.
You know, these turnovers and key moments and the turnovers turn into huge plays for the defense where the offense has to pretty much do nothing to score, or sometimes the defense scores themselves. The pick six for 98 yards or whatever it was. I mean, that's how Oklahoma's made their living, and hopefully Ty feels a lot more comfortable going against this Brent Venables defense. I mean, a lot of those looks that he had that he threw that pick six on, I mean, those are things that are hard to see, and you just got to hope you recognize it, maybe change up the hots. When you got too many guys coming to block, maybe not throw that slant where that safety can just roll down and he knows the hot's coming and pick it off and run it back. I mean, just mix up a few things and make it a little easier for Ty to make adjustments.
I shouldn't be having to follow Jay Coker on any analysis. It just sounds stupid for whatever I have to say. I do think the bye week is going to benefit Bama, even though Oklahoma has an extra week off. I think Bama has had more opportunity to rest some guys. That's going to help them out in the long run. Also, I mean, did y'all watch the Oklahoma LSU game?
Yeah,
LSU had them beat. Oklahoma beat them late with a fluke blown coverage play by from LSU.
I mean, Tennessee should have beaten Oklahoma as well. I say should have. Again, I say should have.
Yeah.
But Oklahoma, look, man, this is what they do. They create turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
But Tennessee, you watch them, I'm pretty sure it was a similar situation. Gain more yards on offense or in the red zone more. But Oklahoma just, timed it up just right. They won the turnover battle, and that's what gave them victory. That's why I have such a hard time buying into Oklahoma.
Right.
Because they're not a complete team. But they do take advantage of situational football.
Right. Let me tell you guys this. This is swag right here.
Didn't mean to cut you off.
No, sorry, Timmons. But look at this, Timmons. It says Bama Football Tailgate Show, and then Roll Tide. It has our logo in there. You guys that are hanging out with us at the Pie Factory, we're going to give some of these out. But if you're not here and you want to get one, there's our QR code right now. Avenue D, be part of that. Join Mick Nation. And at Mick Nation,
Mick Nation gave away 2 tickets to Alabama and Eastern Illinois.
That's right. We did that.
Pie Factory bingo night, the last bingo night of the year. And we got a few subscriptions there for Avenue D. So go back to if you're check your YouTube settings right now. If find that link and subscribe to Avenue D.
That's why I like bringing Timmons on. What we're doing for this game, though, is you can pick each quarter to win $250. First, pick the score in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, and the game, right? So over $1,000 in opportunities to win. It's all free. QR code right there, Avenue D McNation, and you might win one of these as well. They look sweet. Bama and Oklahoma, is DeBoer trending into late season fades? I know we talked about this earlier today, but this is the second straight year where I feel like Alabama played their best football at the beginning of the season, Griff, not at the end.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. I mean, you've seen it the last two seasons, and historically, at least the last 17 years, we're used to seeing Alabama gain momentum as the end of the season approaches.
Right.
And this year, it's kind of felt, and last year as well, it's kind of felt like, okay, everybody else is getting better. Maybe we're backsliding a little bit. But, some of the stuff is just circumstantial sometimes. It's not just as easy as black and white. I mean, Kalen DeBoer's a fantastic coach, and we got some fantastic coaches on our staff. So I fully expect that, we've had a little bit of time off, had some time to reflect on the things that didn't go well for us down the stretch. And I got full confidence that they're going to get some of those things straightened out. And those things that were big minuses that cost us some games, I think we're going to get them back.
I think Griff pretty much hit the nail on the head with the circumstantial stuff, because when you look at us week 1 against Florida State, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, man, if this is a season-long debacle, then Kalen DeBoer might not be around too long. And look at the way that team responded, the resiliency. Comes back, plays tough the rest of the year, goes through one of the hardest 4-game stretches of anybody in the country, probably the hardest 4-game stretch of anybody in the country. And, again, we make it to the SEC championship, but, I mean, how many bullets did we have in the gun against Georgia? Not many. Many. So it makes me wonder, how hurt are these guys, and how prepared are we going to be against Oklahoma from a health standpoint?
You got Ryan Grubb versus Will Venables, right? Ryan Grubb, kind of the offensive genius, and then Will Venables, I know he's the head coach, but he's known for defense. Who are you taking in this matchup?
Brent Venables?
Yeah, Brent Venables. It says Will on here. Let me change that. Brent.
You were about to talk about Will Muschamp at Texas, weren't you?
Yeah, no. Actually, the manager of the White Sox. All these Venables. Anyway, what do you think?
Ryan Grubb, I think he's done a really good job. The only, obviously the one glaring problem is the run game. That is absolutely got to get fixed in the long run. And again, we're talking about a lot of variables here with how healthy is this team. I don't know. Ty Simpson can't carry the team. That was obvious in that SEC championship, and really throughout the end of the season. It's just unsustainable. So we got to find some answers there. Brent Venables, he gambled a lot against us in the first matchup. We got to make sure that we've got answers to some of those gambles and really take advantage of it and make them pay for some of those pressures and some of the things they did in terms of leaving gaps open if we can take advantage of them. So I think Ryan Grubb adjusts. I think he figures it out. I think I'm not gonna make my pick yet, but
okay. Save that for next segment.
Yeah.
I agree with Jake. I mean, Ryan Grubb, his experience and his track record speak for himself, as does Venables. But, these guys have seen each other before this year. And I think, and this is kind of going back to what I said earlier, kind of clinging to hope versus maybe fact.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to feel like, at some point in time, those things are going to click. And who knows what all it takes to make them click. You're talking about injuries. A lot of times it's not necessarily the number of guys on their injury report versus our number of guys. But it's about the injuries at key matchups.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what we kind of ran into at Georgia, which led into a buzzsaw type situation. Get some of those guys back, and we erase some of those minuses that have been glaring issues for us that have cost us some games. And I think Grubb gets his crew together, his cast of characters together.
Well, look, I mean, Jonathan, there's a lot of I'll just call you Timons. Timons, there's a lot of motivation here because after they beat Alabama, they wanted to just basically hang out on top of the Bama logo. So you lose to the same team twice. Then you play as badly as you did against Georgia. Do you think Bama comes out ready to kind of hold down the fort and be Bama again?
Yeah, I think we've seen them come out ready every game this season except the first game of the season, right? It was that punch in the mouth from Florida State that they responded to, all season long. I even with the Georgia and the SEC championship game, it was a dominant performance. Bama couldn't get anything established, but we also gave them short field. That was probably 2 or 3 situations of short fields with the block punt, a 4th and 2 that set up a short field there at the end where it was a 7, could have easily been a 7-point game. And back to what Jake was saying about Ryan Grubb and his defense, they've played. I'm sorry, not. Where am I at? Not Grubb's defense. We're talking about
Venables.
Ken Womack.
Womack's, yeah.
Yeah, Womack's defense. Womack's defense has been playing, better and better all season long. So hopefully that keeps up. And yes, I think they'll be ready to fly out there, and I think they're probably landing in Oklahoma town right now.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Ty Simpson versus John Mateer.
I mean, yeah, this isn't even a matchup. Ty Simpson. Ty Simpson's what? It's him, the Oregon quarterback, Indiana quarterback. I know Julian Sayin was up for the Heisman, but I'm taking Ty Simpson over him. I think he's, top 3 quarterbacks in the country. John Mateer, I know he's, struggled through a broken thumb, but his performances have been nowhere near what Ty's done this year. To me, that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, I would agree with you, Jake, on that. I mean, I'm a huge Ty Simpson fan, and he has taken a lot of criticism these last few weeks. And some of it probably warranted, but a lot of it not. I think he's kind of a victim of the circumstance they're in. Like I said earlier in the show, until we can establish some sort of running game and until we can pick up the blitz the offensive line's taking a lot of heat too, but our running backs have rarely picked up the blitz effectively this year.
Yeah.
So you saw the culmination of that body of work come to fruition against Georgia when they're like, all right, we're going to get after them every play until they stop us. For a 6-game stretch, that was the best quarterback in the country. Going to be the number 1 draft pick.
Right.
Heisman front runner, and but he can't do it all.
Yeah.
So you got to have everybody doesn't have to be great, but everybody's got to get their job done to some degree so that he can succeed.
Okay. This is a yes or no answer. Can Bama play their best game?
Yes, easily. Like you said, I think it does have to do a lot with Ty Simpson, and that's because Ty Simpson's a leader. He has leadership qualities that have shown through all season long, where maybe he's put too much on himself lately.
Yeah,
because he's had to. But back to what I said with him having an extra week to get healthy and to just to recuperate, circle up, get together. They'll put on the best performance they have all year.
Awesome. All right, when we come back, we're going to pick the game. Final segment of the Bama Football Tailgate Show right after this.
I may not suit up on Saturdays anymore, but I'm still in the game.
Let's roll.
In here, I call the plays, make adjustments, and lay it on the line. Want to feel that fire, that rush? Then you've got to get in the game. I used to say it in the tunnel, and I still say it now. Let's roll.
Let's roll.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Barry Buckner for Tuscaloosa Hyundai. When Hyundai introduced America's best 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty, it was one of a kind. But you know us, how can we improve on that? Tuscaloosa Hyundai was first in the nation with a 1,000,000-mile warranty on every new Hyundai. When we told customers no charge, they smiled, and you will too. At Tuscaloosa Hyundai, home of the 1,000,000-mile smile.
This isn't just a place. It's a pulse and a rhythm where game day is more than a tradition. Heart-pounding yet? It's where the flavors are bold and the portions are generous. Mouth-watering yet? Art, music, and culture paint the city's soul. Creativity flowing yet? So whether you come for the thrill, the taste, the beauty, or the tradition, you'll stay for the Tusca life. Ready to feel it? This is Tuscaloosa. Live the Tusca life.
Get your life back when the world's gone crazy. Get your life back. 909,000, Stephen Mesrano.
When you're ready to double down, dive in, drive for a show, and not look back. Roll into Pearl River Resort. From tee times to table games, water slides by day, slots by night. Savor the flavors, feel the fun, win big. Let's roll into Pearl River Resort. Must be 21 or older to play. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
A night of rock you don't want to miss. Lita Ford. And joining Lita for a very special encore set, the legendary Dee Snider from Twisted Sister. With special guests, Firehouse. Saturday, December 27th, Pearl River Resort Silver Star Convention Center. Tickets on sale now at pearlriverresort.com.
When you head to the Smoky Mountains, it's only natural to visit Sevierville.
Even we had to check it out.
And we've been here our whole lives.
Experience the adventure of a lifetime.
I'm king of the world.
Even you can get a bird's eye view of the Smokies.
You're going down, Billy. Whoa.
Your Smokies start here.
Final segment of the original Bama Football Tailgate Show. And yes, for those of you that are watching on YouTube, make sure that you like and subscribe. We appreciate you being here, as always. For those of you that are listening on radio, thank you so much for making our show part of your game day each and every week. We're brought to you by Pearl River Resort and also brought to you by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery. And what's cool, and I wanted to do this, is that everybody in here that's of age has a Yuengling Lager right now and a Brett Elmore koozie. So how about a big Roll Tide for Brett? And thank you guys. Roll Tide. There he is. Cheers to the legend. Big Sexy. Everybody misses him. What's that? I got the shirt. We're ready to go. We're playing the collage right now. Timons, you and him grew up together. Anything you want to say about Brett?
An honor to be a part of the radio station and keep his legacy going. It's been tough. It's been a year of a lot of learning, but he did so much. He did so much for that radio station. He did it all himself. But he had a great staff, and there's so many people that's part of that radio station still that I've been fortunate to work with. Woody Wilson, James Phillips, Brian Hill was here earlier. We got our producer, James McCauley, right now in the studio. They've done so much to help us out, and it's all about supporting local athletics for WJLX, right. And that's what Brett wanted to do most. That's what he saw WJLX sports being. There's a huge basketball invitational tournament here this weekend. We've got one of the teams here tonight from Jonesboro, Georgia, I believe. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Jonesboro. Right. So thank y'all for coming out.
Everybody.
they've got to play Hoover tomorrow, but I can't thank y'all enough. I can't thank you enough, Mick, for being a friend and getting to know you over the past year. It's been an honor and a pleasure. And just like I say, thank you for your friendship. Thank you for everything
cheers, man.
you've done for WJLX. Jake, got to meet you, last year right after he passed. It's been great getting to know you. I know he loved you, and glad you got to come up when we got to make this happen for Brett here at the Pie Factory.
Yeah. Thank y'all for having
again,
us.
Griff. We talked a lot. You got to, Brett probably just as long as I have, and you played here at Walker. Brett was probably in the studio while Woody Wilson was calling the games, and Brett was running the board for those games. Like I say, he did so much. So it's just it's been a hell of a year, and I'm just glad to keep it going.
Yeah, it's like having Chris Farley as your best friend. I mean, I'm not kidding you. It was like it really was. It's like it didn't matter what the situation was. Hey, we wear these hats all the time.
You mad?
Yeah, no filter. The lady that made these hats got mad at Brett over something. You know the story.
Tell that story.
And she was mad about the second batch didn't turn out like these, and she was really mad at Brett.
I
this
I
one, right?
just picture Brett trying to find a headset that fits Griff at a high school game.
We still use one.
Yeah. Fit Brett too. He used to say this big head isn't a hat rack.
One size does not always fit all. Testament to that.
So he's talking to the lady about this situation that they were in. She's really mad at him. Brett said she stopped yelling at him for a second. He goes, "Is this a bad time to ask about your advertising?" Hey, my life has been enriched because of him. I miss him. All right, let's talk about this game. Things to watch when Bama plays Oklahoma today.
Ty Simpson, like I say, his leadership, getting it back together where he was early season, getting everybody around him that he's had around him all season long, and Bama wins it. Are we picking?
Pick it.
Yeah, let's say Bama wins it 23-14.
All right, Griff.
Well, I would have to agree. I think this is a great time, great game for Ty to get his groove back, but it's gonna depend on the characters around him and their ability to get the job done. So we're gonna have to see something from the running back room, not just yards per carry, blocking the blitz, blocking on the perimeter. We'll get the ball out of the backfield and these bubble screens. We're gonna have to have contribution from that running back room that I think we've been missing in other areas other than running the football. Blocking the blitz pickup is going to be key. We don't put the ball on the ground, we're going to win the ball game. I think probably 21-17 is what I had in my mind.
It was a close one.
I think it's turnovers on offense, to be honest. I think two factors: turnovers on offense, and we cannot let John Mateer keep drives alive with his legs. You got to be able to contain him. I think you got to play a lot of man. You got to pressure him and get him down. That's been the Achilles heel of every team that's played them: turnovers and allowing John Mateer to make big plays with his legs and extend drives. But having said that, we played them once. It as mentioned earlier on in the show, it was one of those games where, over the past 15 years, we've had several games where you're like, man, if we just played them one more time. This is one of those games, and I think Alabama shows up this time. I think Ty plays well. Don't think we turn the ball over too much. And, look, the defense has made a monumental shift from the beginning of last year to now.
Right.
The defense has become one of our strengths, and I expect them to play well. I think Alabama covers.
Well, it's a 1.5 right now, Bama's favorite. But for them to win this football game, they're going to have to go back to the things they did at the beginning of the season, and that's just play disciplined, smart football. And they can do that. And I know Ty's been banged up just like everybody else, but this is one of those games where you just got to put all of that aside and go out there and take care of business. The weather's actually not going to be as cold as we thought. And I feel like after the way things went against Georgia, that these guys are going to be super motivated to go out there and do what Alabama does, and that's win big games. Oklahoma's already reached what they probably set as their goal at the beginning of the season. Bama wants to win the national championship. So this is where we see if Alabama looks like your team did in 99 against Florida in the SEC championship game and what you guys did throughout 2015. You get into these games. Now it's time to be the team that you can potentially be.
It's time to be a championship school. Brent Venables, to me, outside of Kurt Cignetti, has probably been the best coach in the country in terms of getting Oklahoma to the playoffs. So, yeah, man, I think they've surpassed their goals for this year. Alabama's Alabama. The playoff is expected. Now it's time to play.
All right, guys, as we wrap up, I want to remind you again, Avenue D, hit that QR code right there. That's how you're going to stay connected with us after the season. And I'm telling you, our Web3 home is something that we're building. It's like we got the foundation put down. Timmons, you and I were talking about this, and you're like, man, it's pretty cool, right? Knowing all the stuff that's coming, right?
I love picks, and like you said, there's a pick 'em going on for this game, so get in there. Hit that QR code.
You got a chance to win 5 different times on this Alabama-Oklahoma game. So get in there. It's all free. Hit that. And then also, if you're not here right now, and I know if you're watching, you're probably not, you get a chance to win swag each week as well. Not sure where the show's going to be when we beat Oklahoma. Maybe back at the floor, Bama, but let's see how things unravel. I'd love to see the Alabama-Indiana matchup, and I know you guys would as well. Hey, for those on the YouTube channel, stick around. We got some more stuff coming up, including gating and grilling. All that right here on the Bama Tailgate Show. Roll Tide, everybody. Bama football coming up on radio.
Welcome to Game Day Grub, where Southern flavor meets Saturday football.
Hey everybody, I'm Carl Lewis, North Carolina Barbecue Pitmaster.
I'm Kevin Sport, and I love the South. I love a good tailgate, and I love football. Together, we're on a mission to celebrate everything that makes game day sacred in the South. The food, the fans,
and the fire.
So what are we making today, Coach?
First things first, brother. You want traffic stopping by your tailgate?
Yeah, man.
These pigskin piled up nachos will have everybody talking.
Dang, Carl, you know how much I love nachos, especially when they're stacked up with that slow smoke pork butt.
Kevin, first thing we got to do is get this fat cap off. Get on down under here. You got a heavy fat cap. You want it down to that meat.
All right,
down
Coach.
with your knife and pull.
Oh,
okay, and it'll roll right back with you. Whenever we got it sprayed down so the rub will adhere to it, this is a big piece of meat. You got to get all the flavor you can. Go heavy, heavy, heavy.
Well, does it matter what kind of rubs you use? I mean,
It doesn't, man. A lot of people making their own rub. You can buy any store-bought rub you want. Some people just use salt and pepper. Well, this is John Moore Billy pork rub.
That's your rub.
Absolutely, it is. You like big butts?
I like this big butt.
Absolutely. Look at the color it's building. That's good, Hoss.
That's good.
Now you just want to start working that rub in, patting it, spanking it a little bit. That's what you like to do.
Oh, well, I don't know what I like to do yet, but
slap that butt.
Yeah, man. Starting to feel like a pit master.
Yeah, you're coming along.
Doesn't it take like 12 hours to cook one of these things? The game's going to start in 2.
It does take about 12 hours. Hoss, while you were sleeping last night, I was out rubbing butts, getting things ready for the day. Let me take you to the cook shack to show you what I got.
Dang, Carl.
Bring me that tray over here, brother. We don't want to lose none of this. So that's what you want right here.
That's the bark you were talking about.
All that bark, people think that's burnt. That ain't burnt. That's purified flavor right there, brother.
This is going to be so good.
If it's done right, that bone should slide right out.
Cool.
Like a paddle.
Oh, yeah.
Now done perfect.
Oh, wow. All right.
You know what you can do with these?
What can you do with them?
It's a chopper.
That's a pro tip right there.
This is smoke. That's what we call a smoke ring.
How do you know when it's done, Carl?
I want it around 205 degrees.
Yeah.
Then we let it rest for a while, and then we put it back on just to heat it back up before we build these nachos.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Okay.
Dude, I went and got the cheese, already fixed it, and I've done set the table with the nachos.
Dang, Carl.
Ready to roll.
You are a pro, babe.
Dang right I am.
Yeah. Are we ready to kick this thing off or what?
Let's do it, brother.
Hungry for more? Be sure to like, subscribe, follow Gating and Grilling on all your socials. The party doesn't stop when the season ends. Full episodes of Gating and Grilling will drop after the football season.
So, Jake, let's break down some game tape.
Hold on, fellas. Steve!
Hey, Jake, you ready to rock?
Let's roll, brother.
Guess we're calling plays at Pearl River Resort. Wow, Jake's first throw scores. And Steve's got the crowd pumped. Man, they're absolutely rolling.
'Cause I don't have to be me till Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I ain't gonna face reality.
I tell you, Jake still got game.
While Steve keeps rocking aces.
Boom, Jake seals it with a pick.
Come call your own plays.
At Pearl River Resort, let's roll.
I don't have to be me till Monday.